Apple just dropped iOS 9, and while it wasn't a massive overhaul, there were some pretty awesome improvements, and here are 5 of the best. Now, this isn't part of my top 5, but Apple finally updated iOS. You can tell whether you're typing in uppercase or lowercase. Now, iOS 9 wasn't a massive overhaul by any means, but true multitasking may have just saved the iPad. Now, before I continue and Timmy flips out and yells at his screen, I know bro, Apple did not invent this, and in fact, it's very similar to a certain Microsoft product. It was absolutely needed. Some people like iOS, some people like Android, some people like Windows, some people like Milhouse.
Nobody likes Milhouse!
But the fact of the matter is, as a fan of tech, I want each platform performing at the absolute highest level because that creates competition, which is a win for all of us. But diving a little deeper into multitasking, it starts with slide over, which at its core is very basic. If you're browsing in Safari, you can quickly slide over something like Messages or a Notes app, complete that task, and then get back to your business. From there, and unfortunately this is only on the iPad Air 2, you can go a step further and have 2 apps open and active at the same time. Now, because this is a beta, it's still very limited to the amount of apps that are supported, but the idea here is down the road, you're gonna be using Tweetbot on one half of the window, Safari on the other, and you're doing 2 things at the same time. Where I will give Apple credit though is even though this is a beta, it's been smooth as hell. Whether you're resizing windows or jumping between apps, it's been a very enjoyable experience. Lastly, Apple is going back in time and getting everybody jacked up about picture-in-picture. And I don't know honestly if I've ever used that in my life. And that essentially is gonna allow you to keep a video playing on the screen on a smaller scale where you can then move it around, you can almost hide it, which I'm not sure why that's a thing. But for whatever reason, if you wanna be pumping out emails and have some YouTube playing in the background, now you can. Now next up is something that might be a little bit boring, but I was genuinely excited about it because I use it all the time. And that is a complete overhaul to the Notes app. So now, for example, if you're in Safari, you can tap the share button. That's gonna allow you to add attachments, whether that's pictures, maps, URLs, or documents. You can now instantly save that into your notes. There are also now integrated checklists, and that does exactly what it sounds like it does. So whether it's something simple like a grocery list or a to-do list, that is all built in right to the Notes app. Now, I don't know about you, but when it comes to handwriting or drawing, I am not very good, and that's with a pen or a pencil. So the thought of doing it on an electronic device just completely throws it out the window, and I think Chicken Scratch would be an upgrade. But if you're not like me and you do enjoy drawing or scribbling, you can now do that within the Notes app. So doodle to your heart's content. Now, next up is an improved Siri, and yes, I know Google now is better in pretty much every way, shape, and form than Siri, but she's trying, and in iOS 9, she's a little bit smarter. So now, for example, you can say something like, Siri, show me pictures from February 6th, or Siri, remind me about this when I get to my car. Now, instead of just swiping down for search, Apple's going back in time again, where we now swipe left, but instead of just search, we now get intelligent recommendations, whether that's contacts, nearby places, apps you just downloaded, and even the latest news. Taking it one step further though, there will now be predictive actions, and what I mean by that is, say you're getting a call, and you have no idea whose number that is, but maybe you talk to them through email, you had that number in there, it's gonna give you an educated guess at who might be calling, and that is definitely a cool thing. From there, there's weird things and questionable things, like if you plug in your headphones, it's gonna give you some recommended music, but for me, I wanna choose what music I wanna listen to, so we'll just really have to see over time, and as the beta improves and the final version comes out, if that actually comes to being useful. Now, last up is almost a hidden feature because by default, you're not gonna see this or you might not even ever know about it, but if you use iCloud Drive and you go into the settings, you can actually toggle on and enable iCloud Drive to show up on your home screen and from there get access to your folder. But for me, this is a welcomed addition because in terms of file management, that is something where Android has always been superior to iOS. So now it's nice to be able to have some control over your files. Now, last up is not only improvements to iOS 9 that's gonna give you longer battery life, but a much needed low power mode. So Apple claims you're gonna get 1 extra hour of battery life, and that involves nothing on your end. That is all done in the background and through the operating system. But on top of that, there is now low power mode, which is gonna extend your battery life even further. So this is gonna conserve power by reducing network activity. Mail will not be pushed, so you will have to fetch it manually. The background app refresh and downloads are disabled, and then motion, brightness, and even network speeds might be reduced just to save battery. So overall, not a crazy overhaul, but some much welcome additions. Let me know your favorite with a comment down below. Definitely make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't because there's a lot more content on the way, including iOS, the iPhone 6s, and just a whole lot of awesome tech. This is Jonathan, and I will see you guys later.